Welcome you back in geological knowledge. In the previous 2-3 videos we have discussed the previous year question paper of combined geoscientist examination, and our motto was to understand the type of questions which are being asked in the examination and what is the pattern of the question, means what is demanded from your side to write in the answer of that particular question. Okay, and what should be your approach while answering that particular question. So that was our purpose behind discussing the previous year question paper, and in that discussion or in that series today we will discuss the 2017 paper. And firstly we will talk about the geology paper 1 and geology paper 2 and paper 3 and hydrogeology. That we will talk in next video. Okay, so we all know that is in geology paper 1 the topics which are geomorphology, remote sensing, structural geology, stratigraphy and paleontology. And in new syllabus, or the syllabus which has been modified in 2020, so sedimentology, that has also been included in geology paper 1. So let's talk about the compulsory section or section A. So very first question that is dealing with differentiate between the raster and the vector data and discuss their utility in the geological studies. So raster and vector data, if you have studied about the remote sensing, in which you would have read about the data interpretation or how data has been represented. What are the ways to represent the data? So there are two methods, that is the vector data and the raster data. Okay, so that is described, or that is shown in the polygonals. Okay, and question number B, discuss the formation of 4 different types of sand dunes with relation to sand supply, vegetation and wind direction. So question is dealing with you have to discuss the formation of 4 types of sand dunes with relation to sand supply, means what is the supply of sand in that particular area, the vegetation, the effect of the vegetation in that area, and also the wind direction. Okay, so that you have to talk in detail, and it's quite easy. If you have understood the topic, then you'd be knowing that is the different types of sand dunes. They are formed on the basis of the some criteria, means how the sand supply is present in that area, the vegetation cover and the wind direction. So all that you have to discuss. Question number C is you have to differentiate between the glacial deposits and the fluvial deposits, means what are the differences between the glacial and the fluvial deposits. Discuss 3 examples each of the glacial depositional environment and the fluvial depositional environment. Okay, means what are the processes of their formation and how they are forming, what are the other characteristic properties or the factors which are important in deciding the erosional pattern, the abrasion pattern or the deposition pattern. So all that you have to discuss in detail. Question number 1D, that is in a topo sheet 45D 11, and the scale has also been given 1:50,000 scale, that we have already discussed when we were discussing about the basics of geological mapping. That is the basic scale or the general scale, that is 1 up to 50,000. The distance between two places is 10 centimeter, and what is the actual distance on ground? Topo sheet number has been given and the distance between two places that has been given 10 centimeter. What will be the actual distance on ground, and what are the other topo sheets that occur to north, south, east and west of the above number topo sheet? You have to show in a diagram. Okay, so obviously if you understand the topo sheet, their basics, then it will be very easy for you to answer this question. And in the same pattern or in same way, if you don't have that idea, then it will be tough for you to understand. You cannot answer that particular question. Okay, so topo sheet, the idea of the topo sheets, that how they are formed and what are their quadrants, or how we can define or how we divide the topo sheet in numbers like 45D, 45C, AB. So all that will be there. So that is the conceptual part. If you understand the topic, then it will be very easy for you. Question number 1E. So in a horizontal topography, two beds A and B, they are involved in the deformation, and you have to describe the details about the structure and the sequence of their development. Okay. So here the diagram is given, and you have been given two, there is a fault. Okay, fault has been shown, and the two rock layers, two beds have been shown. A beds, that is of Devonian age, and bed B, that is of Cambrian age. So you have to describe the details about the structure and the sequence of their development. Okay, so that is again the matter of understanding. If you understand the processes, then it will be very easy. Okay. If you have any problem, you can comment in the comment box and I will try to solve this question. 1F, you have to discuss the seismic characteristic of convergent plate boundaries with suitable example. Discuss the seismic characteristics of convergent plate boundaries with suitable example. 1Z is Kareva group, that you have to talk about. 1H, that is the geological time scale. So that's a very basic question, but if you understand, then it will be very easy. Okay, you can just tabulate. You have to just time scale you have to show in the tabular form. Okay, because you know that in the question come answer booklet series, what you get in the examination hall, that has, for the compulsory section, you will get only one page. So in that one page you can draw only the geological time scale. Okay, next one is Biokinos and the Thanatos. Thanatos fossil assemblages. And next one is the ecology of the diatoms. Okay, the ecology of diatoms. So all in all, the questions are not very tough. If you have the basic idea of about the questions or the topic, then it will be very easy for you to answer the question. One or two question can be difficult, but remaining questions you can easily solve it out. Now we come back to the section B. Let's zoom it out so it's not readable. Section B, in the question number 2A, you have to define the resolution. Means, what is resolution? Discuss the different types of resolution in satellite remote sensing. Okay, the radiometric resolution, temporal resolution. Okay, so that you have to, 4 types of resolutions are there, so that you have to discuss. Can we have all the resolutions very high or fine in a particular satellite data? What is resolution trade-off? Discuss the spatial and temporal resolutions which are suitable optimum for the geological study, climatic study and the geological hazard study. So that's a long question. And question number 2B, that is you have to write short notes on the following. So there are 5 questions, 5 topics like shutter ridges, fault line scarps, host and graben, triangular facets, pull apart patients. So these are very easy questions. If you understand, then it's very not too tough. Shutter ridges, fault line scarp and triangular facets, these are the neotecton. These are the features related to the neotectonism. Okay. And question number 3A, that is discuss the image elements and the geotechnical elements for a visual classification of satellite images. Okay, the elements of images and geotechnical elements for the visual classification of satellite images. And you have to discuss the difference among the multispectral, hyperspectral and the thermal images and their advantages, and give one example each of these three types of satellite images. Because so different types of images like multispectral remote sensing, there are remote sensings different types, so like multispectral remote sensing, hyperspectral remote sensing and thermal images. So that we have to discuss with suitable examples also. Question number 3C, that is dealing with the what is a glacier and where does it form. Means where does it formation, how its formation takes place. Discuss how glaciers move and describe four pre-glacial landforms and four post-glacial landforms. Okay, so all in all you have to talk about the glaciers, their formation, their movement, as well as for pre-glacial and post-glacial landforms. Okay. Section C, fourth A question, that is structural geology, we all know that is. So write about the buckling mechanism of folding and how does it explain the association of fold of different wavelengths and amplitude. So you have to talk about the buckling mechanism of folding and how can it explain the association of folds of different wavelength and amplitude also. And fourth B is draw a three-dimensional diagram for the normal, thrust and the strike slip faults and show the orientation of sigma 1, sigma 2 and sigma 3, okay, that is normal stresses responsible for the generation of these faults. Okay, so this three-dimensional diagram you have to draw. Okay, so all the threes like this sigma 1, sigma 2 and sigma 3 means the normal stresses of all types, three types of normal stresses, and sigma 1, sigma 2, sigma 3 all you have to draw, then it will be called as a three-dimensional diagram. Okay. Question number 5, what is the progressive deformation? Write the significance of slitty cleavage, granulation cleavage and Boudinazed fold and fold Boudin. Okay, quite easy question, you can answer this question very easily. Fifth B is write about the different forms of salt diapirs and the structures associated with these. So different types of salt diapirs and their structures associated with these. Okay, so I will have to look it out, I don't have much idea about this particular question. Okay, actually this topic was not previously in your syllabus, but the question is there, so you have to just solve it out. Okay. Fifth C is in a stereo plot the poles of the axial plane cystosity of F1 fold lie on a girdle, and when the F1 fold axis are plotted in the same diagram they lie very close to the pole of the girdle. So the plot and interpret the structure. So that is related to the stereographic projection. Okay. Section D is question number 6. You have to write down the short note on the following topics: accretionary prism, back arc basin and blue schist facies rocks. Okay, so that you have to write down. Accretionary prism and back arc basin, back arc basin, that is related to plate tectonics, and blue schist facies rock, that you have to discuss. And question number 6B, you have to define a rift zone, distinguish between active and passive rifts, describe the structures and types which are related or association of a continental rift zone. Okay. 7A, what is a collision orogeny? What is a collisional orogeny? Discuss the structures and lithological characteristics of a collisional orogenic belt. Okay, so collision means when two plates collide with each other. Okay, so that orogeny you have to discuss about. Question number 7B, sorry. Discuss the structures of a divergent plate boundary and what are the main geochemical signatures of basalts which are associated with the mid-oceanic ridges or MOR. And C part is compare and contrast the following: lithosphere and asthenosphere, subduction and abduction. Okay, so you have to compare and contrast, means the differences and the similarities. Okay, so lithosphere and asthenosphere and subduction as well as the abduction. Section E is question number 8A. You have to outline the paleogeography of the India near the Precambrian boundary. Okay, so what was the paleogeography? Means what was its relation, India's relationship with other continents or other cratons. Okay, so at that boundary, Precambrian Cambrian boundary. So that you have to paleogeography that you have to discuss. 8B, discuss the salient events of the fragmentation of the Gondwana land during the Precambrian Cretaceous interval. The salient events of the fragmentation means what were the salient events or the main events at the Permian Cretaceous interval time in the Gondwana land. So that you have to write down. Question number 9A or question number 9, that is the write the brief notes on the followings. So India-Asia collision and the rise of the Himalayas, maximum flooding surface in the sequence stratigraphy, and the radiometric dating of the rocks. So that we have to discuss. And next is section F, that is the question number 10A. You have to describe the bathymetric distribution of the organisms. Bathymetric means the continental shelf, continental slope, continental rise, and the abyssal at the bottom. So all that you have to discuss. Bathymetry means that is the bathymetry or hypsographic curve we call them. So the distribution of organisms. Okay, so which are lie at the bottom, which are lie at the top. Okay, so that is you have to discuss. 10B is throw light in brief on the evolution of vertebrate life through ages. Okay, so you have to just write down the evolution of, in briefly you have to write down the evolution of vertebrate life through ages, means at what time period which vertebrate evolution has taken place. Okay, in a tabulate form like geological time scale, the way you write a geological time scale, in that way you have to just tabulate the vertebrate life evolution. Then question number 11A, you have to describe the oculogenital rings of the echinoids. Oculogenital rings of echinoids. And question number 11B, differentiate between the pelecypoda and brachiopod. So difference between pelecypod and their brachiopods, that you have to discuss, means their symmetry elements, their body parts, and their other very major differences that we have to talk about. And if you understand the topic, then it's very easy question. Pelecypod, that is the bivalve, and brachiopod, that is means whether the suture is there, whether the dentition, hinge dentition, okay, and other important properties, differentiation that we have to talk about. Their mode of environment, okay, where they occur, or their geological history, that in which time they were occurring and when they got extinct. So that we have to talk about. Explain the macroevolution with examples. You have to explain the macro evolution. There is micro and macro two type of terms, and macro evolution that you have to explain with suitable examples. So that was our discussion about geology paper 1. Okay, so now we come back to our geology paper 2, in which you know the you will get petrology, that is the sedimentology, igneous petrology, metamorphic petrology, and the environmental geology. So these are the topics which are you have to cover. So firstly we will talk about the short notes, sorry, the compulsory questions. So first is dealing with the double refraction, then you have the tektites beds, liquid immiscibility, mantle xenoliths, pyroxene hornfels facies, and then is myelonites, normal regression in sedimentary environment, the climatic orcos, urban heat island, and the reservoir triggered seismicity or reservoir induced seismicity. So these are simple, very simple questions. If you know the basic part, then it will be not very easy, very tough for you to answer this question. Okay, next one is section B, that is mineralogy, geochemistry, and isotope geology. So what we have to talk about? Briefly describe the composition, internal structure, and the characteristic optical properties of amphibole group. Okay, so I have been repeatedly saying that we will get one family in every exam. In each year you will get one family. So here the amphibole family that we have to discuss. Their composition, their internal structure, their characteristic optical properties. So optical property, that is its cleavage. Okay, their prominent cleavage, that is important, or their extinction angles. Okay, and 2b is how would you explain the phenomena of pleochroism in some anisotropic minerals? How would you determine the scheme of pleochroism of such minerals under the petrological microscope? So that you have to discuss about the pleochroism. Question number 3a is, there is a statement that present day Earth is a differentiated planet, yet the geochemists use the bulk Earth composition. So how is the bulk Earth composition estimated, and for a differentiated Earth, how is its age of formation estimated? So that's the question. And question number 3b is, how would you explain the changes in the rheological behavior of Earth's mantle with the increasing depth? Means as you move in the deeper part of the Earth's interior, what are the changes in the rheological behavior of the Earth's mantle, especially in the mantle? That we have to talk about. Section C is igneous petrology. So first, 4th A is discuss the important petrological tools that are used to understand the origin and the evolution of igneous rocks. So important petrological tools that are used to understand the origin and the evolution of igneous rocks, means how igneous rocks have been originated and how they have evolved. So the various factors we have to talk about. 4th B is briefly discuss on the magmatics. There is misprint in this. The question is related to komatiite. Question is not very readable. There is misprint. So komatiites, they discuss their significance and give example of their occurrences in India. Okay. 5th A, what are the continental flat basalt or CFP, and discuss briefly their salient mineralogical and the chemical characteristics. Okay, so continental flat basalt you have to talk about, and briefly you have to also discuss the mineralogical and the chemical characteristics. Question number 5p, you have to discuss briefly with the help of Neat diagrams the origin and the significance of exsolution texture in feldspars. Okay, so the origin and the significance of exsolution textures in feldspars. Okay, so that is a question given in the 5b. Section D is metamorphic petrology and the processes. So question number 6a, you have to describe the concept of equilibrium in the context of textural, mineralogical and the chemical changes in the metamorphic rocks. The concept of equilibrium. Okay. 6b is comment on ultra high pressure metamorphism. Ultra high pressure metamorphism that you have to talk about. Okay, so that is eclogite phases that is you have to discuss about. Question number 7a, describe the metamorphic phases series with the help of suitable diagram. Metamorphic phases series with the help of suitable diagram that you have to write down. And 7b is discuss the role of fluids in metamorphism with suitable examples. Means we all know that is the pressure, temperature and fluids. These are the some factors, metamorphic factors, which are important from the metamorphic petrology point of view, and you have to talk about the write down about the role of fluids or the chemically active fluids that you have to write down. Section E is that is sedimentology part. Question number 8a, you have to illustrate with neat labeled sketches the primary sedimentary structures which are likely to be developed from varying condition of deposition, from simultaneous transport of sand bed load and muddy suspension load, water medium, and you have to also comment on the possible depositional environment of such structures. Okay, so you have to write down you have to just draw the neat sketches the primary sedimentary structures which are likely to be developed from the varying condition of deposition, from the simultaneous transport of sandy bed load, means the sandy bed load, and the muddy suspension load in a particular water medium, that you have to write down. 8b is with neat sketches or labeled sketches, you have to show the development of characteristic phases sequence in a meandering fluvial depositional system. Okay, so what are the phases which are developed in a meandering fluvial system, that you have to discuss. And question number 9a, illustrate with neat sketches the sedimentary basin in a convergent margin oceanic setting. Okay, so basins which are formed in the convergent margin ocean setting. And how would you recognize such settings from the sedimentary rocks, sedimentary rock record? So that you have to write. And 9b is comment on the variations in the parasequence stacking pattern with the base level changes. So what are the variations in the parasequences stacking pattern with the base level changes? Okay, so in the shallow sea and in the deep sea, in both types of seas, you have to write about the parasequences. And then that is the section F, that is the environmental geology and natural hazards. So that you have to, question number 10a is you have to elaborate on the geological, geophysical, geotechnical and other parameters that are considered while carrying out the seismic zonation and seismic microzonation of a region. Means what are the geological parameters, geophysical parameters, geotechnical and other parameters which are to be taken under consideration when we go for the seismic microzonation or the seismic zonation and seismic microzonation of a region. So what are those parameters that we have to discuss? And 10b, you have to discuss the specific requirements for the pre-disposal management of waste from mines and the beneficiation plants of radioactive ores. So that we have to discuss right now. Means the radioactive ores, so the waste of radioactive ores, how you have to dispose it. Okay. 11 is you have to describe the process of land degradation and elaborate also on the causes and the types of land degradation and cite appropriate examples for each type of. So land degradation that you have to talk about. And 11b is citing examples, give an account of the point and non-point sources of water pollution. So there are two types of sources, point solution and the non-point solutions. Sorry, point sources and the non-point sources of pollution. So that you have to write. So this was our discussion about the paper geology paper 1 and 2 and the remaining economic geology and hydrogeology that we will talk in next video.